to talk about,
Yeah,
right?
the vibes are right. We're back. The Tru-Mon Show, episode 79, with Jimmy and Mar again. How are you guys? A pleasure to have you on. I feel blessed and highly favored again.
Yeah, I feel blessed being with both of you today, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, there's a lot of things we can talk about. I named the show Babylonian, You're Going Down, because this is what's happening. The more we rise, the more we shine, the more we all come out and speak our mind, the more they're going down. So the goal is not to go into a little hole and not speak. Oh, hold on. I have something playing in the background. Hold on. Okay, I fixed the thing again. Anyway, it happened to me all the time, that thing. But yeah, the Babylonian are going down. It's important to shine. And this is what we were talking, me and Jimmy, a little bit at the beginning. You know, when I get up in the morning, I don't get up and say, I'm going to be a bad man. I'm going to do bad things and I'm going to lie to the world. No, I get up in the morning to say, give thanks for life. I'm going to shine as much as I can. I'm going to shine my light. I'm going to make sure I'm on top. You know, I'm going to make sure my vibes are right. And when there's negative vibes coming near me, I got to push them away. I cannot have negative vibes around me, especially on the journey I am. I'm not here for fame or for popularity or anything. I'm here to live my dream. I want to live my dream and to inspire the world. So if I always have negative vibes coming near me and I have to deal with that and I have to entertain that, it's like, no, I get it. The negative vibes cannot come near me. It's impossible because I'm too positive. I take life in a positive way. I see the positive in everything. I turn every negative situation into positive one. That's for sure. Nothing can break me. Nothing can crush me. Nothing can stop me. Nobody will stop me. Nobody will ever come near my mind and try to influence me, whether it's you guys or anybody else. So it's my show. It's my time, my day, my life. And that's what it is. And sometimes when you shine like that and you affirm who you are and what you came here to do, other people get irritated a little bit. I understand. But this is the way I am. What am I going to do? Not express who I am and let other people put stuff in my head and go with their program? It's like, come on, I've been told that all my life, what to do, what to be, where to go, and how to do it. And enough is enough. I can't no more. I can't. So I shut it down. When there's bad vibes coming and I feel it, I shut it down. This is what happened lately, and this is what's going to keep happening, because every time there's negative vibes coming near me, I shut it down. I go away, go somewhere else, you know. The drama, but there's one thing also is some people have no drama in their life and they just like to start drama in other people's life. So this is life, and I know that's how it is, and I know that's how we are, and that's where we're stuck as humanity, and the false pride and the ego and all that shit. So until we get out of here, we get out of the mess we are, first of all, we don't even need to talk about conspiracies or stuff like that. We just need to analyze ourselves, to look in the mirror, how we act, how we interact with others. Are we treating them well? Are we treating them the way we want to be treated? Hello there. We can talk about conspiracy day and night. Will that change us interiorly to be a better person, to be a better human being, to act better, to not cause harm, to not gossip about others, to not spread rumors and bullshit? Like, we're stuck here. Okay, we can talk about conspiracy if you want all day long, but I don't think it's going to help the fact that we seriously need help we need a personal revolution. It's okay to think about revolution outside of ourselves. We have to create one inside first and be the change. Just that struggle for me to be the change and be the light is such a struggle. I have to fight that every day. I have to be rebel against myself, against the program that's been put in my head. Just that is such a huge job. You want to ask me to change the world? Whoa, okay. I cannot change the world.
Yannick,
I have to change myself.
Who is asking you to change the world? It seems that there is a whole army after you, huh?
That's what, no, that's what I was asking myself before. I always ask myself, oh, I can change the world. I'm here to change the world. I realize that the change has to happen inside me first. But anyway, I can yap all day long. You know me, I have so much things to say. But I also have a lot to say because of what happened lately. I don't want to give that much energy to that because I don't think it deserves it. But some people don't even know what I'm talking about. So some knows. But this is what, anyway. But I think the biggest job, that's it, is to be true to ourselves. And just this is a big, big, big job. What do you think?
I don't know where we are and what we're doing right now. So go ahead and direct me.
I don't know. I'm just speaking my mind. Go ahead, Jimmy.
I'll chime in here. First of all, I just wanted to say once again, it's a pleasure to be with you guys and to share our thoughts, our hearts, our ideas. Really, you know, what you hit it right on the head. The revolution that needs to occur, it is an individual one that each person must come to. But part of the big problem that we're facing is that, you know, people have been so closed off and so brainwashed into accepting things as they are that something needs to stimulate them, something needs to poke at them and say, hey, look at this. You know, and I think that's a large part of what we're doing is that we're pointing out in so many ways the absurdity of our world and what's going on and how crazy and insane and so many things are in our world that don't have to be that way. They're only that way because we've allowed them to be that way. We've allowed a small group of people to use all kinds of tools at their disposal to, you know, control us and to herd us into, you know, groups, to pit us against each other, you know, to constantly cause division and turmoil so that we don't ever look at the larger picture of this existence, this wonderful place that we live on, and the interaction of human beings. We've accepted a world that is so crazy, and too many people just don't see it that way. They just see it, well, it's just the way it is, you know, human nature, people are always going to war against each other. No, that's not true. And the way I see it, you know, something needs to spark these people to begin to look and say, you know, well, maybe this isn't what we have to accept. Maybe this isn't the world that we need to just go along with. You know, somebody needs to point out and say, no, this is crap. This is bullshit. You know, we need to create something way better. And it's because we've allowed these people to control us and to bring us constant war, to rip us off in a totally corrupt financial system, to parade these political idiots in front of us as if as if they could possibly represent anything of value to the human family, is just so crazy, you know. And I think that's really what we're here to do, because we realize that the revolution does have to take place individually in all of us. Yes, 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 because that's really the only way overall it's going to change. But until we can find a way to spark these people to think for themselves and to do the inner reflection that they need to do, and you know, we're going to be stuck. And so I think in this way, even though we talk about conspiracies and all that, and we're kind of tired of it because we've been doing it for so many years, it's still important because there are people out there who haven't considered what we're talking about yet. And so by people seeing this and by sharing this information with other people, it has this multiplication effect all over the place. And I think that has value. You know, we're in the Roman Empire 2.0 right now, and people need to see that. And the US is being used, the military is being used for empire building. And, you know, I think it's not hard to see, you know, you've got 900 some odd bases around the world. for the military, it's not hard to see what's going on once we point it out to people, and then they can decide for themselves whether they want to accept it or just, you know, go along to get along, or say, hell no, you know, we're going to take this crap anymore, and we need to, you know, start focusing on processes and interactions and cooperation with other people that are going to improve our situation.
Yeah, take our head out of the sand and look at life and realize what's going on. But we all have our head buried inside the sand, and we don't want to talk too much. We don't want to say too much, and someone's going to say something, and you know, it's always like that. It's always the fear of what other people are going to think, are going to say, are going to the fear of failure, the fear of this, fear of that. It's such a world of fear and doubt, but that's what they feed on. They feed on our fears. So we have to stop being afraid.
Fear is the virus. Fear is the virus that has infected the human family.
Yeah.
And fear is the #1 virus that we need to conquer and overcome, because fear in every way, fear of acceptance, like you're saying, from other people, this has been ingrained in us that we must fit in, we must be homogenous with all these other people. This is what the school systems are based on. Never question authority, never question what other people are doing, even if you think it's wrong, because somebody will say you're weird, you know. The acceptance of all this is what we've got to get beyond. But fear is the virus that has infected humanity and paralyzed humanity. We must conquer this virus and squash it like a bug that's, you know, in our way and trying to harm us.
Well, riding it on the wings of fear. That's where I've been talking about. Fear is actually the tool of Satan. And by injecting fear into human brain and soul, not from an entity outside called Satan, but the entity inside Satan, we have to start removing it. And you're right, the first step is to deal with fear and remove it. First of all, not being scared of this whatever empire of doom and darkness that we see. This empire of darkness and doom, as big as it looks like, it only feeds on our fear. And once we start reducing it inside of ourselves, then it really doesn't have a place to go. And that's what I was talking to Jimi about last night, because I called Jimi and I say, I need some real functional man's reflections. What are we going to do in this world? and that's where we ended up agreeing that the only place we can really end up is within our own power, and knowing that these powers, as big as they look like, they're very, very small. But because they're reflected inside of every human heart, they have a huge empire, right?
Yeah.
So you're right. With ourselves first, the darkness out of ourselves, and then we look at our outside world right now, and we will see that it's stuck in the pussy. The outside world is stuck in the pussy, and that's what I wrote last night on Facebook. Is like, look at that. Now everyone is trying to defend, oh, it's okay if he said pussy, look at the other one said pussy too, the other one said pussy too, all the men behind closed doors say pussy. So even though the intention is to kill the feminine one more time as a collective, and you see, it's like it's so sick that so many people, once you start talking about this, they come around and they start saying, oh, bad women also do this to men. It's not about men and women, it's about feminine versus masculine. The feminine is being killed within all of us. The feminine is the nurturer, the feminine is the life giver, and it's being killed in all of us. So when our social gatherings and our elections have been reduced into pussies, so what is their intention? Their intention is to bring up the feminine and rise the consciousness, or one more time to kill it within everyone and reduce it into a nothing and objectify rectify the feminine that is so badly needed right now to heal all of us. The mother energy is gone from this earth. And no matter what we do, unless we return that, none of these are going, all these puppet shows are going to continue forever.
Yeah, and this war against feminine has been raging for millennia now. It's not just in the recent 100 years. It's been like that for thousands of years. It's like, hello, wake up, world.
The consciousness of care is just gone. You know, it's generally speaking, people have become so callous and so hardened to the world and so centered in, you know, me, and what can the world give me and what can I get from the world, and not caring about everything from people to the environment to animals to all these other things that, you know, we've been conditioned to and hardened to become just completely oblivious to, you know, the pain and suffering of others, you know, and you see it, the conditioning that goes in the gaming industry, you know, like with all these young guys that are young teenagers that are playing these war games constantly. This is not by accident that's pretty much what's available to them, is to constantly engage in killing and blowing people apart and, you know, ripping their guts out. So, you know, after you have so many years of that, it becomes just like fantasy. And then when they enlist in the military and they start doing it for real, it just seems normal to them. It's so insane, but you can see how, you know, this type of attitude and behavior is programmed into society. And then you look at what's on television. There's probably, you know, 24 murder show series every week that, oh, you know, we got to see the latest murder show and who's the villain, you know, can we figure out who they are? And they make it into like a cartoon as if this is just some cute little thing that happens every week. It's insane programming, and people need to see it for what it is. And it's all around us. It's pervasive, it's ubiquitous. And once we begin to see it for what it is, you know, we need to just cut it off at the pass and realize that we have to, you know, become heart-centered and bring care and compassion back into our lives. Because if we don't care about anybody else, how are we going to do anything? You know, we need each other. We need to cooperate, and we need to interact with each other to make change. You know, if everybody sits in their own little world and does nothing and just accepts things as it is, well, we're going to be bowled over, you know, like a freight train. And that's what's been happening.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's time to stop being victimize ourselves. That's what me and Mar were talking. I think it's when we were on the mountain in Montreal. Stop being. We had a good time. Mar was here for a while. I had a very good time with her. She's such a great lady. You had her over your place too, Jimi. No, it was great. And we went on top of Montreal and we made a few videos there. And yeah, we were talking about stop being a victim, I think, or stop something. I think it's the state of victimization also that we're in, that we think we can do nothing because we look at an airplane and we don't know how it works, so we'll give all the power to the people that know how it works. And we look at other things, oh, we don't know how to make a light bulb, so we give them all the power. Same thing with politics. We don't know how things work, so we give them the power, so lead us. I think it's time that we govern ourselves, first of all. Govern ourselves, first of all, to start governing our ship, because our ship is navigating in troubled waters. And that's what I said. I made a video in French on my channel about that. I said, yeah, I'm navigating my ship, but it's very troubled waters. But I got to be a good navigator. You know, you have to be a skilled sailor. The ship also, you can't wait just on the shore for the ship to come. You have to go and pull it in. No, you have to take action if you want to make things happen. If you want to, you know, just like coming on YouTube here for me, I wasn't coming here just to test the water. I want to make waves. I want to make waves and make good ones so far. It's good. I make good ones so far.
That's great. Also,
I never thought I was going to be that popular. I was never under the impression that people were watching my show. So I don't know. I've been might have been saying stuff that might not please everybody, but I am who I am, and I expose the true person. I'm not fake. I don't have no image to protect, and I just come here to speak my mind because I've been kept quiet for a long time. For a long time, 40 years kept quiet. That's why I said the last time. It's true. I've been kept quiet under a mass programming of fear. Fear, first of all, that's the first thing that kept me away from coming on YouTube is the fear. That's the only thing. Because that's the easiest thing I ever done in my life, is coming to do this. But I thought at one point it was the hardest thing I had to do. But it's the easiest thing I ever done. So I don't know what is fear today. I don't really know what is fear, because this is really the easiest thing for me to do. Coming on YouTube and speak my mind.
That is parallel to consciousness also. A lot of us are scared, thinking that being conscious is far away from us and we have to do all this work for it. But consciousness is a part of who we are. Consciousness is the light that we are, and we just have forgotten because we have given into the fear, and then because of that we don't think we can change anything. You know, the programming inside is that you are a victim and you cannot change anything. You don't have the power. And most people, even conscious people, have bought that on because somewhere in the subconscious they're thinking, oh, I don't have the power. The world is too dark. I cannot really change it. You know, and once you're set on that program inside, of course there is nothing that can be changed outside. I mean, the outside world can be changed in few days if we all decided to. But of course we're far away from that, right? Of making that total decision inside that there is nothing to be scared of. This is the stage that the universe, the God, the source has created for us to be actually the points of light here. And here we go. How are we going to change it within ourselves? You know, when Jimmy, you were talking about armies and everything, that we are of things. I mean, what about all these young guys that tattoo NASA on their bodies, thinking that NASA is real? You know, I mean, what kind of a patriots are we? State friend of mine last night, she brings a lot of insights to me. She's the one that also told me about the Patrix, because I kept saying Matrix, and she said no, it has to be called Patrix. And then she was saying, you know, the real revolution and the real fight on this earth right now, it's not between people, or it's not even between our bodies and the spirit. It's actually between female and male. Because the way the male has the male energy, it's not about men again. The male energy, the masculine has taken over. I mean, we see it. The way the armies are built, they are all dysfunctional masculine. They're ready for premature ejaculation all over the earth all the time, and they're doing it. And they are ejaculating the most garbage energies of waste and destruction all over the world. And the feminine is so weak and dead within every one of us that she cannot come on and say no to this, no to this, no to this, I'm going to break this. So that's where our main challenge is, because even the globe model is made after a masculine model. It's all about balls. We got that. So it's to move on. It is about everything becomes a ball in that model, and everything is a sun, which means a son. That means the father, the son, and there we go. We're completely taken away from the feminine inside of all of us, and that's killing all of us.
Yeah, it's really the I mean, in my estimation, it's the negative male energy, because the positive side of male energy is very protective, and is also you know, standing on high moral ground, which we don't see anymore. What we're seeing in these military guys is they're just order followers. They are men who have given up their free will to join a gang known as the military. Not to say the military couldn't be used in a good way, but they are in fact being used for empire building. So these guys give up their morality. Their ego tells them that they're fighting for freedom and we are wonderful heroes and we are going around the world fighting for your freedom. Bullshit. They're empire building. They're asset stripping other nations. They're slaughtering and committing genocide everywhere. And so on the negative side of the feminine is we see all these women supporting them and saying, oh, my man is a hero, he's in the military, or my son's a hero, he's in the military, he's over there slaughtering people in the Middle East, and isn't it wonderful how they're doing that for us? No, bullshit. You need to wake the hell up and see that this is not anything to do with freedom. It has to do with the opposite of freedom. It has to be with stifling our souls. It has to do with dumbing us down. It has to do with creating a completely controlled world run by a very few people. And this has to stop. And we have to see it for what it is. And we have to stop fooling ourselves in buying into the propaganda created by the media that this is somehow something wonderful and good. It feeds into the entire financial system of the military, industrial, political, banking complex. They are profiting off of this in every way possible. And we need to, you know, call a spade and talk about what it really is. And this is a total breakdown of the you know, the negative male energy has become predominant and totally destructive in our world. And the compassion and care of the divine feminine, like you said, Mar, is all but lost, you know, to so many people. And we've got to create this awareness and get people to look at things in a different way, hopefully.
So you see, it is divine feminine and divine masculine that together become the true light, right?
Yes.
Then it's when we talk about feminine is really not talking about women being right. What? No way. Women have fallen to such a level. I mean, you see it from Hillary Clinton all the way down to all the women who are going under surgery, to all the women who are married to the military people, to all the women that don't feel any power within themselves to do anything. It's really not about the body of a man or a woman. Okay, the exaggerated dysfunctional masculine that has taken over, and it shows itself in the form of bombs and rockets and explosions and the war games that you were talking about, the porn industry, whatever, all of that, okay, has enslaved the divine feminine and the divine masculine inside of all of us. Yet, because for so many years the divine feminine has been systematically killed within all of us, that's why it's very, very hard to care. And people don't care. They just don't care. Yes, it has to be a divine marriage. It has to be a divine marriage between the divine masculine and feminine. And we have to bring that forward. And at the same time, we have to look at it that the extreme has also quieted the feminine, the divine feminine, for a very, very long time. And we have to rescue that divine feminine within ourselves, you know? I mean, or else there is no respect. That's why we cannot respect the flat earth. The flat earth, being earth, is a complete indication of the divine feminine that is nurturing all of us. And the divine Father is inside of all of us, caring. Yet, what are we doing? Complete destruction.
We have lost our way completely. As humanity, completely. We're all just, everyone is just for themselves. Everyone is just for themselves, for their little false pride. And that's the state. I think that's part of the fallen state that we're in there. But what if we start moving out of that mental genocide? Because this is what it is. It's a mental genocide that like you were saying, especially with the army, it's order followers. This is the worst mental genocide you cannot, and it's all in our face. It's not because it's hard to see what we're saying here. It's like we said, we don't need to talk much about conspiracies to see the reality, but we're so blind. But I think we're blinded by the light. You know, blinded by the light. We have so much light shining on us with the sun when there's no cloud. There's lots of light, and we're blinded by that light. I was doing a video the other day. I was on the side of the river, and I had the sun like very, very bright on me, and I'm like, I think we're blinded by the light. We have so much light, so much information coming to us from every sources, like nature and first of all, living being, just like me, and that's what we have here, each other. Me, this is the most, this is why I love people, because it's life. It's life. Everything that has life, I'm attracted to it. But if you have dead vibration and you have no life, and you know, I'm not attracted. But everything that has life, I'm attracted to it. Everybody that for sure, it's a life is something to embrace.
Well, the sun, you know, of course, it gives us a lot of, it gives us lots of life, and that's why we see so many chemtrails now. I told both of you, it's been so many chemtrails in California, it's beyond belief. So they do want to block the sun for sure, and then there is some messages that we need to get from the sun that we're not getting for some reason, because we're not spending much time in the sun anymore. All of us civilized people, you know, we are behind our computers. That's what I was telling Jimmy. It's like, I don't want to spend so much time behind my computer anymore. It feels like I'm being sucked into this cyber space, and God knows how many subliminal stuff it's out there that the advanced anti-human technologies are creating, that are zapping us with, you know, all this time that we think that we're doing great work on the internet. So so from today on, I decided that I'm only going to spend 2 hours of internet, and the rest of the time I'm going to be the Messiah inside.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. You reach your own salvation. You know, we have to save our own self. Nobody's going to come and save us. So this is what I'm doing a bit on YouTube. I'm doing it live. I'm saving myself. I don't know, from probably the programming or the evil forces of the Babylonian, something like that. But I'm here to rescue myself, to reach higher level of consciousness. This is what my goal was entering YouTube. I might not be right on everything. I don't pretend to know the truth and nothing but the truth and the whole truth. I'm here to seek it. But the seek, again, do we really have to seek the truth? It's in our face. It's in our face. We're just blind. We're blinded. We're blinded by something, some kind of veil, because it's not even to seek it. That's why I was on the side of the river. I'm always outside. I have lots of inspiration when I go out. So I was sitting in my chair comfy, and I was like, do we really have to seek it, or we're just blind?
No, the whole seeking is at a distance. You know, seeking means that something is separate from you. That's what I was talking in the Messiah. Yeah. There is no Messiah out there video. There is no seeking outside. There is no distance between us and the consciousness. Consciousness is here. The Messiah in all of its forms is here inside of us, wanting to explode into the world if we allow it, if we know it. But then we're seeking it in a space in the future at some point when we wake up. It's not about that. And by the way, with that Messiah video that I made, oh my God, did the Christians come on and tell me that I'm going to go to hell because I'm not accepting Jesus, and might as well just accept Jesus now, because still I have a chance to go to heaven.
But you see, Jesus, I was thinking about that. Isn't it a representation of what we do in our everyday life? We crucify each other for stupid stuff, just for sharing our opinions. Like, we crucify each other for everything. You know, Jesus, I was thinking about that. Why they put a Jesus in our face like that? Maybe because we crucify each other all the time. Maybe we have to stop acting like that, crucifying each other just for differences of opinion. Differences of opinion, because at the end, my little person doesn't matter in that big thing. It's the whole that matter. So to go into negative vibes like that, it only it cannot have a, you know, it's either you motivate or you manipulate. When you motivate someone, you move them for a mutual advantage. When you manipulate them, you move them for a personal advantage. So you have to be careful when you go online doing stuff like we do. That's why I don't want to manipulate people here. I don't intend to do that. I have no intention of manipulating anybody, and everything I do is motivating. It has to stay on motivation, or if not, I'm manipulating, and that's not my goal. So there's a thin line in between both, and I think it's very interesting to stay on the right side.
Yeah, and what we're doing here, I think, is just giving people something else to think about, because if people are looking at mainstream media all the time and seeing what's being presented there, what they're doing, in fact, is seeing the existing power structure that is completely negative and dominating, presenting itself in the best light and using its programming power and ability to keep people enslaved, to keep people dumbed down, to keep people from thinking for themselves, to keep people from becoming who they are. So, you know, there's so many of us now that are sharing our opinions, not because we're not trying to manipulate anybody. All we want to do is present some thoughts and ideas which maybe haven't occurred to people that are completely indoctrinated. And the, you know, fear, again, is at the core of all these problems, because the fear of what other people think. Oh, gee, if I consider that maybe, you know, what I've been taught all my life is not true, well, other people might consider me crazy because they all think it's true. And so this intense programming that we've all been under all of our lives, and it starts with our families, and then it goes to school, and then when it goes to the religions, then it goes to political parties, and it goes through pseudoscience that we have, and all these things that tell us what we need to think. And so we have this fear that if we step outside of those boxes and all of a sudden start thinking for ourselves and start considering other ideas and have an open mind, that this is somehow going to put us in a bad light. But we have to be strong enough within ourselves to say, you know what, that's okay. I don't need somebody else to tell me, oh yeah, you're right, this is great what you're thinking. No, I don't need that reinforcement. I need to have that inner strength from myself, and knowing that I am a sovereign being. I am not a person that's programmed from everybody else. And we all struggle with that, you know, internally. And that's what Mar's talking about, how we have to conquer ourselves. And what, like you were saying, Yannick, at the beginning, you know, that is that internal battle. We have to be the victor of ourselves and to become, you know, completely independent. And say, all right, you know, I'm going to have the courage to consider many alternatives. It doesn't mean I have to believe everyone, but I'm going to take a look. I'm not going to be afraid to consider alternatives. It's just like the flat earth is so divisive, because people have that ingrained in their brain. It's from childhood. It's a globe, you know. I saw it in the classroom. We all played with it. You know, we looked at it. We saw how it was, and that's the way it is. And so people get angry because it's so deeply ingrained in them that this is the only way it could possibly be. You know, we've got to get over that fear again, that fear of what other people think. Don't consider what other people think. What's important in your life is what you think. And that's the only way we're going to free ourselves from all of this crap that's surrounding us.
It's what you think about yourself, exactly.
Yeah. You know, have that confidence, have that courage to have an open mind. What a concept, right? Don't be afraid to consider other things. You know, it doesn't mean you have to totally buy into it, but look at it. You know, investigate. You know, go beyond, step outside of your comfort zone, and say, you know, let's look at other things. Let's look at other possibilities, because it's only in that journey of opening yourself up to the possibilities that, you know, you're going to grow, that we're all going to grow. And, you know, we got to, you know, get over that personal fear that we have of what other people think.
Despite all the negative things that happen in the world, we have to be happy. I have to be happy. I want to live a happy life. And to be happy, for me, happiness, first of all, is a state of mind. Happiness is not something I will reach with money or whatever, exterior things. Happiness is a state of mind. And for me, being happy is being the person I want to be. So if I can conquer that person that's been programming me all my life, if I can conquer that, job done for me. So just by doing this, I'm going to reflect in the world what I'm doing. The work I'm doing now on YouTube or whatever is part of that. It's part of my journey. So just that, it's part of my journey of conquering the old me or something like that. Because along a journey, you have to be willing to kill each person you were at the time. Like, you're going to transform during a journey. You're not going to be the same from day one to the end. So you're going to transform. You have to be ready for some change, some stuff that happened to you, whatever. There's a lot of things that can happen during a journey, but it's to be happy, to live a happy life. It's being the person I want to be. Being, you know,
well, that also brings us to the next chapter, that what is the true happiness? You know, is true happiness just to get the crumbs from up there and be happy with that, and then have kind of a semi good connections with people in our lives and seemingly be happy, or say makes you few videos and say few real things and be happy with that. But as I talked about in the Jedi revolution and in the video, I'm really doing these videos for myself at this time. I was telling Jimmy the other night, I said, you know what, sometimes I really need help to end this inner struggle so bad. That's why I make the video, because that's where I want to be. The Jedi revolution is a revolution that we actually stop all the inner wars, you know, because in our subconscious we are so filled up with junk, so filled up with junk.
so negative.
I don't care how awake we are. We could be 9/11 activists. We could be doing heavy duty work in this world. But then when you open the subconscious, it's all filled up with collective junk, you know, and the collective junk is what systematically has been put in our brains about us. So that has to be a Jedi, a real Jedi, does not stop like 1 second of doing goodness and then the next second it's like, oh, I hate that person, I hope they die, you know. The real Jedi sit within themselves and it's like, okay, here I am the master of my life, and I'm the master of this body, and I'm the master of the thoughts. No fear and no hierarchy can exist within this body and this mind, and from here on to all my relationships. So all the relationships become a reflection of that, of truth and clarity, and from then on it goes into our action and talks and everywhere on, because as long as we keep the programming of the system, we're carrying the system forward. They are living on us being programmed beings, and the revolution starts as a Jedi revolution from inside out.
Yeah, Babylon is very wicked and negative, eh? And if we let those negative vibration in Babylon and the negative stuff, we're negative by nature because of that system. So we don't even need to think about it. We're gonna be, if you don't program yourself to be positive in this world, you don't even need to think about doing negative shit. You're gonna do it. You're gonna do it. You're programmed like that. So don't worry about it. I was the same. I was doing negative stuff just by impulse, like lying to my children about Santa Claus or whatever. Name it. Like, we're programmed this way, and when you become an adult, well, you inflate the lie, and then you inflate your ego and all the bullshit that comes with it. So you have to program yourself becoming very, very positive. You have to redo the blueprint. Very important inside me. I realized how much I was being programmed with fear. With fear, first of all, with fear. It's the fear. It's just the fear, because once you kill that fear of first, what other people think of you, that's the first fear you should really really put the hacks in it and kill it for real. It's that fear, and then after you kill the other fears, for sure, I still have. I don't know if it's fears to conquer, but yeah, I might have some stuff still to conquer. Like I haven't done all the work I wanted to do. So for sure, I'm going to still transform. That's why I said we transform like a caterpillar that transforms into a butterfly. It's not pleasant to transform, I'm sure. It's never pleasant to change, to expand your consciousness, to want it to read, to know the truth, and to realize you've been programmed all your life and you've been under it's tough. It's tough to take in at first, but I mean, with the time, it's very liberator. Me at the beginning of my journey on YouTube, just go back on the first Tru-Mon show we did, me and Mar together, and now I'm a totally different person. I'm sure I don't even watch them. I don't go back and watch them, but I evolved a lot, and I'm sure Mar can say the same too. We have both, and you too, Jimmy. We have all evolved in that journey, and that's the goal, is to grow. But growth is a choice. Also, you have to take you have to want it. You have to want it, but don't be afraid of change. That's my message, because it's so liberator, and the truth. Don't seek it. It's inside of you. You don't need to seek external stuff. Just look in the mirror, and you're gonna see something very, very wonderful. Something divine. First of all, you have to recognize when you look in the mirror that you have something divine in front of you. Like don't talk bad about yourself. I always say that to my 3 warriors I have here. You know, Mar, you came here. My 3 warriors, Sam, Abby, and Gavin. Come on, you can tell about them. They're not. Me, my goal is to make children, or it's not to have lobotomized children. Even though I cannot. Really, you cannot force it on them. This is what I realized when having children, and try to make them see the world the way I see it. I try the best I can, but you cannot force it on them. They have to. The emancipation of that mental slavery is something you have to do on the personal level. You cannot ask someone to do it for you. You can. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. Maybe I'm a bit, maybe the way I see it is not really the way you've traveled your journey, Mar or Jimmy. I don't know if you've made as much, all the stuff that I went, but I think this is what is also interesting to share when we get together and we share our opinions, is the way we live our journey, and not being stuck in just, oh no, because I don't agree, I'm not going to entertain his stuff. Like, Jimmy, you came many times on the show and you said about stuff that I don't really agree, but I entertain your thought because I'm intelligent, I'm interested, and but like what you said the other day about, I think it was about aliens or something. Anyway, you were talking about something, and I was not totally on it, but I never probably looked at it either. Like, I would have to look at it a different way. Maybe I would see it your way, but I'm willing to entertain the thought. Like, I cannot, but also the vibes are right. When the vibes are right, I feel it. I feel it. You feel that, the vibes of the people. You feel when it's right. You feel when it's not right. So there's things that are vibrational that doesn't lie. The vibe don't lie. The vibe don't lie. Nobody can tell me that the vibes are lying. When you feel something in your gut, you have an intuition, the vibes don't lie. So I know that with a bit of experience in life.
Yeah, I think.
Well,
I think,
the true. Yeah. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Mar.
No, you go ahead.
You bring up a good point, because really that inner compass, that gut feeling that we have about people and situations really does, tell us the truth. We need to pay attention to that. And I also wanted to bring up the point about, how you mentioned happiness. And that's a choice. You know, when you get up in the morning, we all have a choice of what kind of attitude we're going to bring out into the world with us when we go to work and when we interact with other people. That is a personal choice of what we can do. You know, every once in a while somebody will send me a message and they'll say, well, all this stuff you're posting, it's all doom and gloom, it's all depressing, I don't want to look at any of it, it's just crap, and it's really in your attitude towards looking at it, is what determines your attitude. To me, yes, it's not a positive thing to live in a highly programmed world where you have so much massive destruction. Yeah, that is negative, but I'm not going to let it draw me down. Personally, I'm still going to choose to be as happy as I can possibly be in this situation. But at the same time, I'm not going to turn my head and act like it's not there. I'm going to face it head on, and I'm going to look at it and I'm going to say, hey, this is crap and we don't need it. We can do better than this. And that's the whole point of talking about the negative aspects of the world, is that we need to realize that we can do so much better, and we need to realize that the real happiness and joy is something that we start with ourselves, and that it becomes infectious with other people when we interact with them, and we have that within us. But we can't be afraid to look at the dark side, whether it's internally within us or within the external world that we're constantly exposed to. Just imagine what this world would be like if we had the Tesla technology that came forward, if we didn't have people that stifled all of that, if we had free energy, if we had our own replicator machines to create, all the food that we need, all the clothing, all the furniture, whatever it is that we need, we had the technology to create it. Imagine a world like that, where we can all exist in cooperation with each other. When you get up in the morning, your biggest decision is, what do I want to do today? That is doable. That's totally doable in this world. We can create a world when we cooperate with each other, where the basic necessities of all beings, of all sentient beings, is provided. And then from there, we can be more creative. We can be creative with our arts. We can be creative with our crafts. We can be creative with what we share with other people, how we inspire other people, and we encourage other people to use their incredible gifts to share with us. That's the kind of thinking, in my mind, in my opinion, that's the kind of thinking that we need to bring into the world every day and expand on what the possibilities are. But it's like an alcoholic to me, the world situation as humans here. We can say, I'm not an alcoholic. Hell no, I just like to drink and party and have a good time. So when you say that, you're lying to yourself. And so when we collectively say that as human beings, that, well, yeah, the world's messed up, but it's okay, I'm still alive, I'm getting along, that's denying the reality of the situation. We need to face it for what it is, and we need to put a stop to things that are destructive, because we can do so much better. And we don't need to let the negativity of the world drag us down. We need to shine our light above it and inspire other people to get beyond that. Let's create something magnificent. Let's create something amazing that we'll all love.
Yeah.
Let's have the freedom to do that, and let's bring that attitude forward. But don't be afraid to look at the dark side, because it's real, it's in our face, but let's get beyond it,
Well, beyond it and through it also. And that's why systematically are hidden to us, because I totally believe inside that humanity has lived on this plane earth in the harmony that you're talking about. We had advanced technologies, and or else what is the reason that they are trying to hide our history from us? There is something in our history. That's why when they have wars, the first thing that they do, they bomb around the museums, and then they rave the museums and take everything out of the museums. Why?
And the
All these
libraries.
ancient artifacts. Exactly. They robbed them of that's exactly what they did in Iraq. You know, God forbid if they have a war on Iran, that's what they're going to do with all the museums of Iran, you know, of the ancient time of the Sumerians and whoever that is in Iran right now. So the reason they are covering up our history is because we would not know that we have the potential and to live in our highest and the best, and we did it. They want us to think we came from the monkeys and we were cavemen just tearing animals around and raping women because that's what a caveman does, you know. And then from
Coming
there
from
we
the
evolved
monkey.
to this. Yeah, and here we evolved to this beautiful, amazing, advanced humanity that can
Oh,
drop bombs anytime it wants. You know, oh, we have grown up so much, and the Western world is the most civilized world. Look at it. We have resolved the sexist and the racist issues here. Women have freedom here. It's like the entire fucking thing is an illusion, and we're living in this illusion thinking that this is real. And then as we were talking about, a friend of mine, Jimmy, I told you that a friend of mine that is a heavy duty 9/11 activist, but I don't know how he is for Trump. But he is saying something very interesting. He says, look, this is the biggest sci-fi movie, the biggest sci-fi movie. The celebration starts
it's
right
insane.
there because this is the biggest, scariest, fucked up movie, and you happen to be the hero in it. So celebrate, because the
Yeah.
hero doesn't give up. The hero does not close its eyes to the temple of doom and see how it's functioning. The hero knows how to have the courage to look through it and shift it and transform it. So all of it comes together at this time.
Yeah, I heard Robert De Niro about Donald Trump too. He's putting him,
Well,
wants to punch him in the face.
these people are just actors. They're
I
just,
know.
it's just theater, you know, and people get so worked up. And of course, the media creates this frenzy, you know, this, you know, good cop, bad cop, good politician, bad politician. They're all just buffoons, you know.
It's all a big illusion. Yeah.
It's complete illusion. And you know, we create these constant battles, you know, with each other. You know, we're going to fight over our favorite team, you know, or you're this, you're that, you know.
Yeah. And now they say if Trump in the bus in his private with Jeb Bush or whoever cousin can talk about freely about pussies and how he wants to grab someone's pussy and how he will just fuck them because they're fuckable, and he would ask for no permission. I mean, then they come around and say, look, every man talks like that. Let's be real. We love pussies anyways. So why can't we talk like that in behind closed doors? It's like, oh my God, isn't this a complete sign of a dysfunctional, fucked up man?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
And then somebody else posted, you know, Clinton's testimony before Congress, you know, back when he was being impeached, you know, and all this stuff. It's the same crap. It's the same comedy of theater over and over again, you know, and people keep falling for it and falling into it. And you know,
even the speeches.
Go ahead.
Even the speeches, they repeat the same speech election after election. People don't see it. They just go and
yeah. And
then they put something with Obama talking about the pussy too. They saying that look, Obama talked about pussy and no one raised an eyebrow. Then Clinton talked about and even did a pussy and no one raised an eyebrow. And so why should we be concerned at this point about this one doing it? It's like, oh my God, the entire conversation of a nation, the most advanced nation in the world, you know. And then my idea on that was that is because everyone needs to go back so deep into the pussy because that's where we came from and we learned how to disrespect it. Go ahead,
It's
Jimmy.
beyond belief that, you know, that people are actually arguing over this stupid stuff, and then to actually think that whoever the next corporate spokesperson is, you know, whether it's Hillary or you know, Trump, it doesn't matter. You know, this is theater, people. They have no power. They make no decisions. You know, this has been proven over and over again. It's a small group of wealthy, you know, mostly white idiots that are behind the scenes that are playing this. You know, they're the marionette guys with the strings, and they're just, you know, Hillary and Trump are just dancing around to their tune, you know, distracting the people. You know, everything that we have like that is a total distraction so that we don't look at the big picture.
Yeah, but there's something that happened also, because when I was young, I couldn't care about politics. Okay, at 16, 17, 18, 19, I thought I was a rebel. I couldn't care about politics. So what happened to me that at one point at 30 years old, I started to go vote. Like I went to vote at one point. I think 3 elections in a row, I went to vote. I thought politics was going to change something, or I don't know. I was so inside the illusion. You become so, if you don't look at the big picture, if you don't question everything, because you have to question everything to realize all the lies, but also what makes certain people see really profound through the illusion, like they don't have to be persuaded of something to see something. Like is it the cement of the mind, Mark? What is it?
Well, you know, we talk about all these things, and then people say, well, what's the solution? I mean, how are we ever going to get beyond this? The solutions are so incredibly simple. You just stop cooperating with anything that goes against humanity, sentient beings, or the earth that is destructive to any of those things. Okay, what would happen? Let's just talk theoretically now. This is just crazy talk, but let's just get some real crazy talk.
Let's talk solutions. Right,
yeah, let's talk solutions. Okay, this is just crazy, man. All this is, you're out of your mind. How could this happen? What if 300 million people in the United States stop paying taxes?
Exactly.
What would happen?
Yes.
Okay, that's number one. Okay, what if they declared war again on the next Middle Eastern country or the next wherever, you know, and the military guys went, no, not going, sorry, not fighting, not going to do it. This is immoral bullshit crap. This is destructive. This is not good. We're not doing it. What would happen? The world would transform overnight. That just gives you an idea of, we have to change that mindset. You know, we have to stop being a bunch of sheep, you know, manipulated around in the different corrals. You know, we've got to stop that mentality. We've got to show these military guys, look, you know, you may have great intentions. You may want to protect the world, and you think you are, but no, you're not. Educate yourself. Become knowledgeable about what you're doing. Do not participate in genocide. Do not participate in destruction. You know, if you are defending yourself, the only time violence is acceptable is if you're defending yourself from attack. That's it. If you're going over to other countries and invading them, they're defending themselves from you. They're the ones that are doing the righteous thing. They're standing up to you from invading their country. Wake up, military people. You know, I mean, I know a lot of you guys out there, you're hating me right now. You know, you think, yo, what kind of coward is that? No, this is reality. You know, and if you don't face it, then you're going to just be cannon fodder. If you want to be that, fine. But if we rise beyond that and say, we're not going to cooperate with any of this crap anymore. We're not going to be your pawns. You know, the ones that pull the strings. They are using these guys for cannon fodder, and these guys, they pump them up with their egos and say, give them medals. Oh, look at my medals. I am a killer. I am an advanced killer. I slaughter people on command. I follow every order without question. No, that's a moron. You know, I'm sorry. That's not a hero. Okay, so we've got, if we want to talk about solutions, you stop cooperating with destructive processes. You stop cooperating with psychopathic rulers who tell you what to do and you do it automatically. No, that's not acceptable. So if we want to talk about solutions, you only participate in things which are positive to yourself and to everybody else and to every animal, every ecosystem on the planet. It's so simple. It's not difficult.
Yeah. Start educating yourself. Start educating yourself, because this is what helped me see through the illusion, is educating myself on Babylon, on everything. And yeah, we have, because no matter how much you can lead a horse to the water, doesn't mean he's gonna drink it. So no matter how much you're gonna tell them, that doesn't mean they're gonna get it. So you have to bring people to a state of realization that they have to educate themselves about what's going on in the world and to see through the illusion. And you become, at one point, it's very empowering. The truth and this whole journey of discovering, first of all, who I am is very empowering. This is where also that the message that I want to share, it's not only to seek the truth exterior of yourself, but you're going to find a lot of truth inside yourself about that a person you didn't even know about. This is the whole thing. Maybe it's also, maybe not discovering so much a new person, but becoming who you were always meant to be, that you are never be, because you lived in a lie, you live with a mask all your life. So just that is a big step for me anyway. I'm removing the mask more and more. I think it's completely off. It's been up for a while, but I mean, I still have work to do. I mean, I'm not, I haven't attained my salvation on earth. I have lots of work to do, but I think I'm scratching the surface more and more of my potential. And the more I express myself, the more I become. Also, it's a matter of confidence also, but you cannot fall into the arrogance. So confidence and arrogance also, it's another thing that you have to manage, because you can fall into arrogance when you become too confident. So it's a very thin line there too. It's like manipulate, motivate, very thin line. So you have a lot of work on yourself to do, first of all, to conquer yourself, and then you can start thinking about conquering the world, or whatever you want to conquer, or whatever you want to inspire people.
Well,
not conquer,
well,
but
it has to
inspire
be
people.
it has to be a very organized action as the first solution of shifting anything, to stop paying taxes
Yeah.
and educate people that your taxes are just supporting the evil by billions and trillions of dollars that goes into NASA, trillions of dollars that goes into military and the pseudosciences to undo cancer and whatever, by actually creating more cancer all over the world. All of our tax money is going into creating all these chemtrails. That has to be a very directed, strong action to educate people that to stop. I mean, I hope, Jimmy, there would be one day that we wake up and we see that a lot of the people have woken up and they are going to stop paying taxes. And that is one strong nail in the coffin, isn't it?
It's a good place to start, but again, the people, there's that fear that's around that. It's tremendously strong, because you've got this Gestapo type organization called the IRS that's going to sick their dogs on you, and I don't know what it is in Canada, but I'm sure they have something similar there.
Ouais, l'Agence du revenu du Canada puis l'Agence de revenu du Québec.
Yeah. So, the programming is strong and heavy, and basically the government operates in that way with the mafia model, because they want a cut of everything. And if you don't give them their cut of all that you produce with your labors, they're going to send the goons after you. So
it's a gang. It's a gang.
It's a gang. Yeah.
It's a gang.
There's all kinds of gangs. There's the police gangs, and there's the tax collector gangs, there's the military gangs. These are all gangs, and the men and women that participate in these gangs and doing these things are just totally lost. and they don't have any independent thought of their own. They're totally resigned to following.
But last, I don't know. I don't think they even know that they don't know. Like it's
right.
All the stuff we're talking about 2-3 years ago. Come on, I wouldn't even been able to make the mental leap. I would be here then. Because I didn't educate myself. But once you start educating yourself, this is why the personal revolution is very important, to a point that a lot of people have to do it, and then we're going to become very big. Because like you said, there's a lot of people not paying your taxes, okay, but a lot of people live in fear. And the gang and the goons and the lawyers and the system is very, very tight. They're going to come and get you, and they're going to drain you until you have nothing left. They don't care. And just the fact that we have to pay taxes out of our labors, we go work and we have to give these people our money to inflate the illusion. This is what we're doing. It's so insane, once you realize that.
Yeah, it's completely.
And then we want to choose the worst of the psychopaths to protect us within that system also. Oh, please, I have to choose the best one of the worst gang to protect me for the next 4 years because I have no consciousness and no protection inside. Yeah, so it's like the true celebration really falls into, okay, here we go. We have broken the illusion, at least to some part within ourselves. So let's celebrate at that level, that we're not giving into the illusion, we are understanding it, and then take it all the way to the core. Is like, how much internally have I gotten rid of Babylon? So since this is the title of our show, the Babylon needs to die. And the first step of the Babylon dying is inside of my mind, not falling victim to the powers outside, and also to the powers inside that are dark, because that also inside of me, the spirit inside of me, that is the collective spirit, wants to kill the light that I am down inside. And that conversation needs to be alive within us of what is true and what is not true. The fear is never true, but we have to listen to the fear in order to recognize what is the truth. The truth is that we are light beings. Our material bodies givers and light takers, and they function within the light and harmony of the universe. Yet we have filled these bodies with heavy duty dark spirits, and we have to get rid of those dark spirits within ourselves. And then as we do that, take it into our actions. So what is the next action? First, be really excited. Hey, let's be the hero of this fucking dark sci-fi movie, and don't let them break your spirit down at all, because this spirit or this beingness within this body is unbreakable. That's an illusion. Being breakable and finite and being possible to die or get sick, all of that is the illusions that the collective has given us. Once we make that revolution inside, then the revolution has to happen outside, because a person that works at that level within themselves, they have more power than 100,000 or millions of sheeple.
Yeah, totally agree. It's time to open our heart and speak our mind, and really but we all have a lion heart. We all have a lioness or lion heart, and it's time to stop living as mice and start expressing ourselves and put that Babylon system down. This is, and the first thing we have to do exactly is opening our heart and stop judging each other for everything we do and everything we say and everything we might we're here to celebrate life first, not to celebrate our differences of opinion, differences in many things. So this is life. This is a celebration of life. This is a dream of life. So let's live it, and that's it. Rise and shine. That's my message all the time. So guys, that was a pleasure again. Jimmy, I don't know if you want to add something else.
Well, I think that was great. And
Yeah.
Mara, I love that. What you just said is just so awesome.
Yeah.
Right on target.
The narrow path is a lonely road too. So
it is, you know, but you know, we just keep throwing it out there and keep expressing ourselves, and you know, we want people to know that we come from a place of love. We're not coming from trying to convince anybody of anything, but we want to just share opinions and ideas which we think could possibly, you know, help everyone. And that's really where we're coming from, and our intention in this. It's not that we have all the answers, because we don't, you know, we know that, but we're not fooling ourselves into thinking that everything's fine the way it is, because it's not. But every day we have to get up and keep that positivity and keep that inner happiness going, and that love that we express in our fields, that when we interact with other people, we have to keep that going, and that's, you know, first and foremost what we need to express in our lives, you know. So we just keep doing it, keep going.
Yeah, keep on rising.
And Jimmy, just one more thing, Jimmy. I ask you, what is it you are 100% sure that if you told me, it will help me for sure? And what was it that you said?
I don't remember.
You said there was something you were absolutely sure that, okay, I remember you said that was last night. I was talking to you on the phone, and I said, just say something that will help me no matter what. And you said, okay, something that I'm completely sure about is that we have the power and we're going to win.
Yes. Oh, that's true. That's true.
Okay.
Ultimately, that is absolutely true, and I believe that with every fiber of my being.
Okay.
Power to the people. Power to the people. I say it all the time. We have the power. They have the billions, but we are the millions. In fact, it's us, the millions. They have the billions, but we are the millions. So hello, wake up, everybody, and start making waves.
They need us to do everything that they do.
Yeah.
They have to have us. So if we stop cooperating with anything that they do that's bad or negative, they've got nothing. They've got nothing at that point. So we have to keep that in mind. You know, we don't be a minion. Be an independent spirit.
Also, just one more thing. The awakened path not necessarily needs to be narrow and alone. We have to also change that understanding. First of all, on that path, we have each other, which is amazing. This new family of beingnesses that are amazing, and they're all over the world also. And also, we are accompanied by our ancestors. We are accompanied by the beings of incredible light that we cannot even see, because a lot of us, you know, are still living in the three-dimensional world. We are not alone. The power of the light and the power of the universe, this verse that we are in, is with all of us, and this is an amazing, exciting, happy celebration of life.
It's the most exciting time to be alive. Give thanks for life. We're out.
Aho.
Okay, bless up, everybody. Thanks, everybody in the chat. I read the question a bit in the chat before. I can go back and check. There was someone who was asking me about Jabba, but I said I will not discuss anything about Jabba on public. I don't wash my laundry on a public place. If you want to know about Jabba, I'll gladly tell you in private, but not in public. I'm done with this. And the next question, hold on.
Can I say just one thing about Jabba?
Yeah, do.
Because he attacks me, and
you can say whatever you want.
Yeah, he said I'm a snake, because Mar means a snake, and he applied all these Masonic things to me, that I call myself a queen, and because I'm a snake and I'm deceitful and everything, fine. It's like, hey, bring it on, man. Sure. You know what I think you and your group are into? You're a cult. you know, and cults are always about that. They're always about limiting other people in their vision. And I'm not into it. I wish you the best. And I hope that you're happy within yourself, man, with your
That's it.
cult.
That's it. And
That's
like you
it.
told me, Mar comes from your father. I think at the beginning when we met, you told me your father was calling you Mar or something, Mar.
No, he called me Mamar, which is in Farsi Mamar.
But that's your
It's
name
like
also.
a
Your name.
abbreviation of
But that's your
my
name
name, which is
also.
Mariam.
That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah. So it's Mamar, and then I just reduce it to Mar when I talk,
I know.
and so you can have a problem for the rest of your life with that. And it's like, do you have a problem with someone called Dick? How come you don't say anything about someone being called a dick?
Oh, it's unreal. Anyway, we're not gonna
but,
give him more
but
energy than
anyways,
he needs. He feeds on that.
just
So.
one more thing. Mar also means ocean, not a snake. In my languages, if you just say Mar, that means a snake. But Mamar is the big ocean. Anyways.
Me, I know you're real. I know you come from the heart, Mar. I never, first of all, it's always me asking you to do shows. You never bother me. You never harass me in anything. You never forced anything on me. You've never, and if sometime I have, like we had a chat live, it wasn't this, like, sometimes I let you talk by respect, just by respect, because I have a big mouth, and I know if I start cutting you off, and no matter what, you are a woman, and it's also intimidating a little bit for me. So it's just a normal thing here happening. It's nothing that because you have a claw over me, or no, it has nothing to do with that. Nothing. It's just a normal thing happening, and it's just by respect, and I respect you a lot. And like I never felt like you had the like you were forcing things on me or stuff. I never had bad vibes with you. Why do you think I'm still here with you today? Do you think it's because I have bad vibes? If I would have a little bit of a bad vibe, I wouldn't even be here. Because look what I do with the bad vibes. I put them away very fast, the bad vibes.
You know, and to also make it all about bad vibe, because we're talking about I am, and then it's like, come on, to make everything satanic. I mean,
Exactly.
even taking the good and making it satanic is like, where are we coming from? Okay, let's really be the warriors of light that we are. Drop all that and really do good in this world. That's all.
It. We have other things to do. We got job to do. We got work to do, and we're gonna keep doing it. Like Sam said in the comment, go ahead. Let's go, the Warriors of Light, or something like that. Boom. That's what he said. So
yes.
Yeah, we're gonna keep on rising and shining and speaking our mind, because this is what the world needs. And bless up everybody, and thanks for being here. Thanks Jimmy. Thanks Mar. Again, feel blessed and highly favored, and I give thanks a lot for you coming on my show like that. Really appreciate it. Bless up.
Thank you. Thank you.
Up.